18 folks across the valley. Since opening their doors in July, the mansion has done charity and 75 years later, the choices in a continued commitment to the community. For more information on these locations or find the nearest community road, visit longmusic.com or call 480-711. Again, congratulations to Long Music and here's to the next 75 years.
The schools of Arizona is now hiring bus drivers. So the 8 campuses across the valley, there are plenty of great opportunities available. Each one of Imagine schools will receive paid training, paid time off, great benefits, a 401k program, and with a starting salary of $17.50 an hour and up. To apply or for more information, contact Frank Sturpey at frank.sturpey@imagineschools.org. That's frank.sturpey@imagineschools.org. Call them at 608.
Monday dismissed. Good, ready to kick us off, man. Oh, I can see the run sheet. One call today at 10:30 to Derek Sivala. Let me send that to you. I'm sitting there lobbying.
Of course, no problem.
Just send it over to you, sir. So just that one call at 10:30, and we are golden.
Company of Ed, Jay, and the EC Sports Talk Show.
Time for the Easy Sports Talk Show. Here come your hosts, National Football League and Major League Baseball athlete Ed Smith, and hip-hop artist, producer, and sports enthusiast Javon Adams. This dynamic duo covers the Arizona sports landscape along with national storylines and hot topics from around the country. Easy Sports Talk takes you beyond the usual sports highlights, behind the curtain look at the world of sports, talking knowledge with honest, on-field commentary. Easy Sports Talk, good for both the avid and casual sports fan. Now, here are your hosts, Ed Easy Smith and Javon
You're live.
And welcome to the Easy Sports Talk Show. Ed Smith, Joe, I want the BGs over here, or was that? Javon, Love, or Javon Adams, aka Love. Hey, thank you for joining us on Saturday. Let's jump right into it. This segment right here is brought to you by
Coke Artisan Beverage Company, the official beverage company of the Easy Sports Talk Show. One of the first to launch nitrogen-infused coffee. They offer everything from specialty coffees to a botanical infusion line of caffeine and sugar-free brewed beverages. Call Coke Artisan Beverage Company at 623-434-0939 or visit ilovecoke.com for more information.
And if you want to get at us on the show this week, you can always call us on the Easy Sports Talk hotline, 602-260-1060. Aaron's behind the glass waiting on your call. You can tweet at us at Easy Sports Talk, at Ed Smith Speaks, and Javon Love. I actually thought I was like in a frisky mood this morning. It seems like you were in the frisky mood. We have a great show lined up for you. As you can tell, my partner here he's wow. I might have to give you a drug test. See what's in your system.
Freshness.
Great show lined up. I have some good news and some bad news, Jay. The NFL playoffs are here. Super Wild Card Weekend. That's the good news, right? The bad news that the NFL Super Wild Card Weekend is here. And that means that we are done with the regular season, which for me is like eating at a buffet. You know, I give compare. You ever go to one of those Chinese buffets where they have everything, man, from ribs to the rice to the egg young. You can just try everything, every different type of egg roll they got. You know, that's just kind of cool. I'm not a big buffet man now after everything we've been through. But now I was playing minor league baseball. Any city we pulled up to and we saw the buffet, we were like, oh, we get ready to get it in. So that the regular season is the buffet, right?
Right.
The postseason is like one of those fancy wedding where they give you the choices of beef, chicken, or fish. And you got that. That's all you got. Like good food.
Good food, boy.
That's all you got. You got to settle for
We all we got.
And you mess up with all that when they make you RSP and take your choice. You really in a hole. That's what you got. That's what you got. So quickly, let's recap because I want to use this first segment. Recap last week's pretty exciting NFL 18th week of the season. There was what I call cause and effect. So there were some things because they happened, they affected this. One of them was your boy. I mean, that last game, the Raiders and the Los Angeles Chargers off the chart. That was. We'll get to that in a second. So first we had cause and effect. The pathetic Indianapolis Colts. After they came here 3 weeks ago and wore out behind that.
All you gotta do.
2 weeks in a row, because they had beat your Raiders, couldn't do that. And then all you gotta do is beat the lowly 2-14 Jaguars, and you get into the playoffs. They went over there, and that was one of those games I kept my eye on watching. It was on the. There's a reason why they only have Wentz to do so much. Because if you ask him to do just even a little more, man, he was horrible. They ended up going over losing that game 26-11, and because of that, because the Steelers had a scenario, well, Indians has to lose to the Jaguars. That's not happening. And then we got to beat the Raiders, and they all give us trouble. But even if we do that, then we got to wait for the Chargers and the Raiders. As long as that game doesn't end in a tie, and we get into the playoffs, but what's the chance of that happening? So Indy loses. Steelers beat the Ravens 16-13 in one of their classic, just muddled, fights and just nothing pretty about it. But they get the W. Then they have to sit around and wait, and they waited. And your Chargers and Raiders went to overtime.
Yes.
And talk about that game, bro.
That game, I do believe. I think that the Raiders were just gonna whatever. We'll get in whether we tie or whether we win. So why don't we just move over the top? Because they weren't really being aggressive on that last drive, I should say, that overtime drive. And I think it was one of those, maybe they got slapped back into reality, so to speak, when Los Angeles called that timeout. So they said, all right, why not? Why not go for it? Let's see this. If they're going to try to call this timeout, then we're going to go ahead and try to kick this field goal. I could be completely wrong, but I really thought that they were going to allow that game to end the time. Maybe take some super long for the heck of it, just as time expired, but they didn't expect to maybe make such a long field goal.
Two things stood out in that game. The Chargers head coach, Brandon Staley, is an analytical idiot. This is the second game that he showed me.
Like it,
bruh. 4th and 2 on your own 18-yard line.
Yeah, that was a little bit much.
4th and 2 on your own 18-yard line.
You have to win to be aggressive and when not
what
to
was
be.
the Denver game a week or so ago when he went 4 or 5 times? It was like 1 for 5 on 4th down.
Yeah.
I mean, at some point you got to put the feet down and use your brain. 4th and 18 on your own, or 4th and 2 on your own.
I think that was egregious. I think being aggressive when you pass that, the midpoint of the field, I think that's fine.
And they, how many points they lose game by? I'm just asking. How many points? Field goal is what, right? And the only reason they need that field goal,
right,
is because they get a field goal after they're going 4 and 2 on their own 18-yard line. Just give me Los Angeles 3 points.
Yeah.
And it's like, Oh my God! And then you're out. Chargers, you're out.
Yeah.
Chargers they do it every year. They do it all the time.
So if you were a player, though, are you at your 18 and you can kick the field goal and you go for it, the coach says go for it. If you're a player, you've heard arguments that players are excited.
Players are as smart as fans. Fans are looking at TV and stuff like, "What are you doing? What are you doing?" There are dudes on the sideline, especially the defensive guys, who are like, "What the hell is he doing?" And then you don't get it, and your defense has to go out and defend that. And then after you give up the 3 points, dudes are sitting on the sideline whispering to each other, "What is wrong with you?" I mean, that to me is just idiotic. So they ended up almost tying, and the whole time the Steelers fans are like, "What are y'all crazy?" They kick the field goal, game over. LA out, Raiders in, Steelers in, extending Ben's season. So, and then let's go quickly to the NFC. Saints had to win against the Falcons, and then hope that the Niners would get beat by the Rams, and then they won't be. So the Raiders are Saints over there, 30-20 beat the Falcons, handle their business, and then that game against the Rams. The Northern 49ers were down 17-0, 17-3, and they basically came out in the second half and once again deboed Rams.
Literally,
that's my bike call.
Yeah, they literally deboed. Debo was doing his thing, man. Yeah, they use him in all kinds of ways. If the Cardinals had to play them again, that might be it, because now I think that they really settled into how
their
dynamic when they use Debo to really do so much to obviously run the ball, pass the ball, catch the ball, all that stuff.
And we're going to talk to Derek Powell at 10:30, but he does the Rams podcast. I've done that with him all through the season and last year. I want to get his thoughts. So we talked about it. I mean, the Rams kryptonite is the 49ers, just like our kryptonite is the Rams. Right. It's just so, I mean, the way it all just works out sometimes. Right now, if you're the Rams, you don't want to see 49ers again at all. Right. And what happened to the Rams, because they lost that game, they fell from 2 seed all the way to 4 seed. Still have a home game, but then now it turns out against us. Instead of being in the Tampa Bay spot, they were taking on the Eagles. I mean, and everything got shuffled so much because of those 2 losses. We're getting into what we did last week as well. But man,
everything fell just right for them to be able to, for the Cardinals to be able to finish at least going in the right direction.
Yeah. And for the Steelers, I mean, you're talking about somebody had an extra wishbone or something, and made that perfect wish, and it all worked out. But Ben gets another week, man. We'll see what the Steelers do on the road.
It's like me playing basketball, slow and
methodical. For all these Steelers fans out there, this might be the last time you see him out there because he looks raw.
You tell them kids the 3-point to be the triple threat.
Yeah.
And I would look so mechanical doing it right now. I can pass, I can shoot, or I can dribble.
Hey, appreciate you hanging out with Easy J on the Easy Sports Talk, Easy Sports Talk Show. KUS 1060 AM as well as KSLX HD Channel 2, 100.7. We're on Facebook, we're on Restream, we're on LinkedIn now. We got a little bit of everything on YouTube page, everything. So we're going to take this break, come back, talk about these Cardinals, what they did against Seattle last week. Hope you have a great weekend so far, folks. Was it like 70 degrees? Going to be 70 today?
It's cold. I got to give the weather report. I have to cut some long sleeves on when I'm running today.
Hey,
Dan. You're live.
And welcome back to the Easy Sports Talk Show. That's a good one right there. Y'all, that's a good one. I just want to let everybody know we need love in. Beautiful 55 degrees right now. Clear blue skies. Peaking at 72 today. Zero chance of precipitation. So we're actually, enjoying some really good weather out here. We have to enjoy this because then we get to the summer and it's like 190 degrees.
Yeah.
And everybody else is enjoying it.
Yeah, you got to soak it up while you can.
Yes, indeed. This segment right here brought to you by
Milano Music, family owned and operated for over 75 years, over 50,000 square foot showroom and repair facility, 18 instrument rental depots across the valley. Visit milanomusic.com. That's MILANO music.com or call them at 480-827-1111.
And we were going to jump into this last week's Cardinals game. Aaron, do we have Dan on the line with us? Next segment? 10:30, okay. So we'll take Dan's call then, but let's jump into this one, man, because the Cardinals, we just expected them to finish out the season with a dub, and it's amazing what, because we talked about last week, they had everything in the world to play for and nothing to play off.
You said the wrong word there. I hoped that they would finish the regular season strong.
Expected.
The way that they finished the regular season in general with the last 6 games were going 2-4. Yeah, that expectation of victory that went away a long time ago. You hoped that they would win in the beginning of the season. You were, as those victories started to pile up, then you had the expectation of a positive outcome.
That's 7-0 start, guys, man. Once again, like the I might have said the ceiling is the
ceiling is the roof. Yes.
We just expected so much after that 7-0 start.
Yes.
And then he finished the season on a 4-6 slide. And to be honest with you, it was some of the games they lost were more head scratching than it was you go on the road and beat the Dallas, but you can't beat the Detroit. So we're gonna talk about this right here. Seahawks 38, Cardinals 30. Within, I said, everything in the world played for, nothing good because you didn't know they all those games together, the Tampa Bay game, Rams game, and you can watch the scoreboard because I'm sure they were seeing it. The Rams were losing that game at one point. All the Cardinals had to do was win that game, and you win the NFC. That takes a whole lot of stink off of all the games and things that you kind of came up short. It's almost like there was some cologne. You didn't put it deodorant on, you had just no cologne to mask the funk. And we couldn't mask the funk, man.
Oh,
man.
The
Our offense, Kyler Murray, 28 for 39 for 240 yards.
Okay.
1 interception, but 5 sacks.
Yes.
We'll talk about those in a minute.
Yes.
We ran the ball 28 times for 118 yards. Here's something for me, bro. 28. We ran 72 plays for 305 yards.
Yeah.
72. 305. I mean, quarterback should be able to throw for 300. And then on the flip side, Seattle 57 plays,
but
431.
Yeah, and out of the pass and run, there's one of those statistics that really sticks out.
Well, here let me throw this much. So in the first quarter of the game, the Cardinals ran a 19-play drive, and they had 66 yards and ended up with a field goal. That's like.
You hit points, but that's demoralizing because you take so much time off the clock. Yes, your defense is off the field, and so they're at least able to breathe and catch their breath and be fresh for the next series. But man,
that drive epitomized the whole game right there. 19 plays. That's like my favorite Chinese food, where we go king, right?
Yes, I know.
Now from here, that's 60 miles.
If you go to downtown Phoenix, you say, I think I'm close enough.
Okay. So imagine to get to downtown Phoenix, I got the first 30 plus miles, then I got another 30 over there, right?
Yes.
Imagine me decide right now, you know what, I'm gonna move for some Chinese food and go over. And I get up and that big old guzzler out there in the garage, right?
Right.
That's the distance.
Right.
I drive 60 plus miles and I get all the way over here to find out they closed. I just burned
close for our office parties.
Yeah. I just burned all that gas. Nothing. For me, the field goal, 19 plays, that's like you said, it's like you get this like, oh my God.
Yeah.
And then from there, the Seahawks, I mean, we on the opening drive,
Yes.
second play of the game, strip sack, we take it in for 7. We're up 7-0 like 20 seconds into the game.
I thought it was going to be on from there.
We
We
never
were sitting in the
touched
house
again.
and we erupted because it was.
That's how you started the game.
It seemed like that was one of those positive game altering plays that would demoralize maybe the Seahawks to make them say, it's not gonna be our day.
Yeah. They never touched Russell again after that one. No, 0 sacks. Lots of pressures and stuff like that, but 0 sacks. They did intercept him later in the game. But then you let Rashad Penny run 23 times for 190.
Speaking on that, because you buried in the lead, that 190 yards.
190
yards. It's a good thing that nobody's going to try to take advantage of that here in the playoffs.
Bruh, that's how, I mean, you talk about the weakness. It was the magnifying glass came
It was
out.
sweet.
Other teams, I mean, you might play a Rams team that they just got Akers back. You got Sonny Michel who's been just balling out for them. And now I said, we're in the playoffs. This is the second season. This is win or go home. It's like you had a pimple. You're going to go on the biggest day in your life, right? You pop it, and then another one shows up right on the other side, just even bigger.
Oh, my God.
They've got a pimple. I mean, that running rush defense is, and I talked to you last week in the Believe It or Not podcast, speaking on
EasySportsTalk.com. Click on the tab that says Believe in the Arizona Cardinals, or go to Believe.com, or just wherever you find your podcasts.
The Seahawks did exactly what the Indianapolis Colts did a few weeks ago. Run. Don't give up on it. And then as you just continue to hammer away at us, then that big one pops. That 62-yarder for Penny at the end again. That was about that.
Yeah, there was still hope.
Yeah.
To at least try to just pull something out, and then next thing you know,
that was game set match. But like I said, you keep pounding at us, and we just for some reason just cannot sustain the middle of that defense. And obviously we got Wonder Boy coming back potentially this week, so everybody I made comments this week. Well, JJ's coming back, so that should shore everything up. Okay, we'll see. As far as I remember, he was in for 7 games, and we still didn't have what I would call all that, shored up. So it's time to see
early on, even throughout that 7-0 start, we were still just, this is great that we hope that they can fix this run, the run defense. But then also we talked about this, and I think they should be healthier than they have been in the secondary. But the secondary became an issue because that was those question marks. We just weren't sure what we were going to get going coming into the season, and it was a pleasant surprise that they were able to perform well. Some injury, so forth and so on. That's not the deepest. It's not the deepest position we have.
And then I always speak about special teams, right? If you're not going to win a game for us, I've been waiting. I'm always like, look, we need some from our special teams, just throughout the season. But if you're not going to win it for us, you cannot lose it for us. Andy Lee muffed the point right at the end of the third quarter on our own 10-yard line.
Yeah.
He gets it. He sees the rush coming, but there was a blocker, and he just got distracted. And I think he's thinking that's coming right at me. Went to kick the ball, dropped it, but didn't get the foot through to kick it. The ball just lands right on the ground. He picks it up and at least, try to get the ball on the 10-yard line or 12 or whatever it was.
Man.
And then three plays later, they score.
You can't even look at your teammates on the sideline. You just got to do.
And the whole time, and I bring it up today, the whole time you're looking at the scoreboard and you're seeing the Rams that whole thing flip-flopped.
Right. And
what was at stake for you? If you win that game, you now win the NFC West. You're a 3 seed.
I'll get to him now.
Okay. Let's finish this up real quick. You're now a 3 seed, right?
Yeah.
And you got a home game. So you're playing the 6 seed, where that would have been where everything worked out. If you combine this loss with the Detroit loss. Just say if we would have won that one, you are now a 2 seed. And every game except for the NFC Championship, if Green Bay happened to get beat, but every game other than the NFC Championship would have been a home game for you. If something happened where Green Bay got beat, you're now the home team for the NFC Championship. Just with those 2 losses. You look at what could have been, and I know we made it into the playoffs. Satisfaction is, if that's all you that's your goal, And hey, we got to the playoffs, and we'll see what happens from here. I would say that potentially we had the Cardinals had so much in their hand, and it just let slip away.
Indeed. Yeah, yeah, I think we mentioned it on Believe in the Arizona Cardinals, is that 11-6 just hits, as the kids say these days, it hits different after the way that they finished down the stretch, as opposed to if they would have built up to finish at 11-6, as opposed to the way it ended up.
Yeah. So we'll see. We're going to take some calls next segment. We also have Derek Ciapalo, who's going to be joining us from Ram Talk Radio. So we're going to get deep into this matchup with the Rams coming up. I know my son's excited about that. He's a Rams fan.
I don't understand how your son's like, oh,
Jeez, good video game, man. That's all.
Rams, and then who else? Bucks, Rams, Astros.
He's a gem, whatever. So, hey, we're going to take this break. Hope you have a great weekend so far, folks. Appreciate you hanging out. Easy Zay on the Easy Sports Talk Show.
You can. Don't judge that young man. Don't judge him.
So we got Derek
Okay, Derek's all set and knows that you're getting to Dan and then right to him.
Thank you so much, Aaron. Appreciate you, man.
Yep, you're live.
And welcome back to the Easy Sports Talk Show. Appreciate you hanging out with Easy and Jay. Rastafari. This segment right here is brought to you by
Majestic Services. Do you have any oil stains in your driveway? Maybe you need to get that deck or that pool area cleaned up. Majestic Services can do all the dirty work around your home or business. Majestic Services will pressure wash your driveways, awnings, pool decks, sidewalks, receiving docks, and more. Call Majestic Services at 602-614-9401. Again, that's 602-614-9401, or go to majesticservices.net for your free, no obligation.
And before we jump out to Derek Ciapalo from Rams Talk Radio, we're going to take a quick call from one of our favorite callers. Dan is on the Easy Sports Talk hotline. How you doing today, Dan? Good, man. What you got for us?
Yeah, I just wanted to talk to the Cardinals and wanted to ask you, with this game coming up, the Cardinals are the underdog, and it seems like they play well when you're back against the wall. And you're watching this team, is the reason why they seem to play better when no one's in the lead versus when they have the spotlight on them?
That's a good question. Yeah,
I would say, and then maybe Derek can even maybe put what he sees when in terms of when they're facing the Cardinals. I would say that this season the Cardinals have been more favored than maybe looked at as the underdog.
yeah.
But here's the thing, and I heard this posited earlier in the week that maybe when they go on the road, that road environment causes them to maybe have less bells and whistles, fewer bells and whistles on the offensive side of the ball, being able to maybe focus, well, it shouldn't be the case, but focus a little more as opposed to when you're at home. Again, that was the theory that I heard, the focus more on the road, because at home you can try all these different things and all these motions and all that jazz. And so, but I think that they've performed decently as being favored. I just think the road is a better place for them.
I'm going to think on that one. A clearer answer later on. That is a great question.
Yeah,
I don't know what their problem is at home versus being on the road. Great question, Dan. I'm going to think on that one, and I'll have some thoughts for you. Right now, we're going to jump back out on the Easy Sports Talk hotline. We have Derek Ciapalo from Rams Talk Radio, a great guest on the show, returning. I did his podcast earlier this week 3 times this year. Derek, we've been talking about these Rams and Cardinals. How you doing, man?
Living the dream every
3 times. Now, before I finished this, when I was the year I went to the Super Bowl, we were still in, I was with the men, but we were in the NFC West, and the San Francisco 49ers were in the division. Obviously, they had to play them twice during the regular season, and then had to play them again in the postseason. Do you like this third time is the charm, or would you rather be seeing a different face right now, Derek?
Well, I'd rather see it in the face and not thinking about the Cardinals because the Rams will last week in the number 2 season. They're getting Philly. They're not getting.
Absolutely.
I would rather the road. They still ain't going after Green Bay for one more week if necessary. So, this loss last week for the 49ers put them in a position where it could go from Green Bay next week and those Packers next week are colder than,
I'm glad you brought that up, Derek, because I'm going to ask you, we know what kryptonite is for the Cardinals. It is the Rams. For some reason, McVay has had Pete Berry's number. I know we got one earlier this year, but it's still like almost he has like he's in a trance when he faces McVay. Same thing seems to go the other way for McVay against the 49ers and the Shanahan. What is it about that matchup that gives you guys so much trouble?
it's trying to get it. When you get I think somebody needs to do it. In the last game out there were 2 specific decisions that they made in that game last week that do all you had to do. Yeah. And he 99% of the 1% it's probably easy.
and he backed off. So being all it was the way call too. I don't know that it's coach as much as the roster versus the roster. And what I mean by that is some teams are just better matchups for you from a work. For their matchup on their side, and that's the Rams. The Rams are built differently, and in my view, the 49ers were built to beat the Rams. They were built to deal with the style they run.
Mm-hmm.
So it doesn't surprise me. Now, should they have won every match? Yeah, they should. And they wouldn't have the best athlete. You know what that is.
Yeah.
In a matter of a few minutes. You can't say, well, hey, it's really changed a lot of the company roster. And yeah, sometimes they have it in case of they didn't see it and looked at it, but match and it's really important about the Rams in terms of offensive line, especially to the college and veterans, and that's why they're involved in this long for years. When they're involved to do that, to the game, it's usually the rest of people are winning.
So again, we have Derek from Rams Talk Radio here on Easy Sports Talk Show. So Derek, how tired are you probably of talking about Stafford? How tired are you talking about the pressure that's on him? What are your expectations for him in this game against the Cardinals?
So I think it's more about
Okay.
I think people who are hammering, they're not Rams fans. That's what you're hearing. They take over or step up. I guess they're just saying that I don't know. I think the difference between between offense and other is that production does and all. I never got the impression that Goff was all about the worker. And you could tell by how he read defense. With Stafford being over cases, he spent over a decade in Detroit, happened to be the guy that are going to win it on your shoulders. Well, in LA, with the team you have around you, it's not necessarily on your shoulders, but you have the habit of being on your shoulders all the time. And, that's really one thing. Even if Brett Favre, he's the all-time winner exception, is that right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
In Kurt Warner's team, the Super Bowl in 2001, had 22 interceptions. They're going to take risks. And yes, they make some real nice plays, yes. Has it at times they not playing in that position? Absolutely. Absolutely. So we can blame Stafford, and he does deserve some blame for mistakes. He's not blaming by as well. Who on earth in their right mind at this point here a Rams fan wants to see them going 5 wide on 3rd and 1?
Yeah.
The Rams going 5 wide. Well, the Rams went 5 wide, they're going to go defense. We have this big turkey in the back of the Stafford. Come eat. We're smashing it. I mean, that's been that way. I just want to try to talk to him, on the board at some point. I go back and look at the film. And I'm pretty sure that's great. More 5 wide is embarrassing. So why do it? But they do stuff like this and then they get mad at that or anything.
So, Derek, let's look at this matchup. Round 3 coming up here. I want you to tell us some of the keys of the game, like our Rams offense, the Rams offense against our defense, and vice versa. What you're looking for, and how you see this game going.
It's trenches. When you and I talked earlier in the year, I felt like that is that first game. I think I told you that if they get into a shootout, the Rams win this game. And the Cardinals made sure that it was not going to be a shootout. In this case, they did that also. If the Rams control the running game on Monday after game, then a lot of that, everything will do with that bruise up secondary. That's the whole way to do it. 2 years after retired, they came back out with their secondary. They have a massive deal last weekend. They lost 3 or 4 stars. They might get 1 back. Maybe even 2 back. That's not really good. And that means their offense on the field longer don't cover retire, don't get those receiver size. You know, this is gonna be the ball control game, it's gonna be basically making the team most noise, and keep the Cardinals offense off the field, you know, and kind of think it's gonna be a good day for them. If they can't do that, and there's a chance they won't. The 49ers on 7 ravage the Rams. So all the Browns and the pass last weekend. And we saw results. The collapse. Utter collapse. Embarrassing collapse. The worst offensive line I've seen the Rams in 3 years.
You know, it's funny, Derek, because we're both, you know, we both go into week 18 when you're Rams, Cardinals, and it was like, well, they haven't, both had something to play for. And I saw from the Cardinals, it was just such a disappointing effort, and I can sense it in your voice as well. We did talk about it the other day on your podcast. Just, you know, unexplainable at times. Now, the good thing is we are now in the postseason. Anything you did in the regular season, you can wipe it all clean. It's a 3-game tournament to try to get to the big dance as far as all the teams that are playing the wild card game. So tell me, let's go prediction, because I gave one on I think it was Wednesday when we talked, whichever day it was. I gave one, and you were like, I want to take a little time to think about this one. So now the lights on you. I want to give me what the Rams win or lose this game if, and then give us your final score.
The Rams win this game if they can last stretch. And I think they, for the most part, will. I think there's a lot there. I think there's a lot of shame that roster about. They won 5 in a row. They were building confidence, and even though they both win off of the World 30, they were coming through a lot of adversity. This team almost had it kind of forced to the game because which would have been tragic. They went from all that, just fighting to have a team on the field to come back to win the division. And, you know, have a few days of that, I think, and then they go there and the players embarrass them. That's going to happen. And I just don't think these are men. These are men who are in war. I just don't see them destroy physically again like they did last Monday. So I'm going to take the Rams, 21-17, 2017.
Okay.
Close game. I just think that
2 minutes.
I think they're more likely to score. I like seeing out of the defensive line. We saw more late, Aaron Donald and Sean and the great games in center playing in them, and seems to be marked by those. He's been a major player. With a quarterback healthy, I think that it's going to be a hard game. I have to make that in a lot of confidence in my brain. I mean that one.
Okay. Well, we got you on the board. We'll Jay and I are going to make our picks later on. Appreciate you, Derek. And tell everybody how they can follow you, man.
All right, so you can follow us at Talk Rams on Twitter. You can find our podcast, Rams Talk Radio, anywhere podcasting you found. They're actually delayed releasing our podcast going on tonight and Saturday night show.
Okay.
So you can look to our Cardinal show tonight delayed, you know, like that.
Well, that's cool. Hey, Derek, we'll be in touch after this one, and we'll kind of compare notes as to how the game goes. Always appreciate you, man. Look forward to us doing this again soon, okay?
30.
Sure enough, Talk forward.
You too. Thanks, Derek. Derek Powell from Rams Talk Radio. You can tell how disgusted he was how they performed last week. And if you and I were like diehard Cardinals fans, we would be as ticked off as he was too. But hey, we're going to take this break. We'll be back after these messages, folks. Hope you're having a great weekend so far.
You good?
Clear.
I still got to answer Dan's question.
You're live.
And welcome back to the Easy Sports Talk Show. This will be a quick segment. Keep a little long now. Thanks to Jesse Powell from Rams Talk Radio for joining us. Great insight. Looking forward to this game. And, third time's a charm. We'll see who's going to come out with the decision here. This segment right here is brought to you by
Casual Sports Radio Network, KSRNAZ.com is your destination for the latest updates and in-depth coverage of your Arizona sports teams, including all things Arizona Cardinals for the Bird Gang fan base. Visit KSRNAZ.com for feature articles, great podcasts such as the repurposing of the Easy Sports Talk Show and the Believe in the Arizona Cardinals podcast, and music programming like Microphone Masters, Disposable Arts, and more.
And I thought I got a great answer for Dan's question. I still don't. I don't know why the Cardinals have played so well on the road and so poorly at home. I don't know what the psyche is, or whether it's preparation, or I don't know. Maybe it's
I think he was focusing more on when they're counting out underdogs, because when they've been on the road and they've been favored on the well.
Yeah, they have been.
But of course, when they went to Jacksonville,
Here's the tricky part. In past seasons, we haven't been favored all that much. So this is a new thing for the Cardinals. They got to a point where people were expecting them to win. Because, at one point,
I wouldn't necessarily call it. The first thing that came to mind was being the hunter versus being hunted.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't necessarily say they're being hunted, because that requires a very high level of expectation. But
that's like Buccaneers, Patriots, and TV out. Right? Everybody's out to get you.
Right.
I'm going to think on that one. I have coffee later on. That does work for me. Maybe I'll give you a private answer, but I'm not sure.
House.
So yeah, I'll still get around. So let's do this real quick. You want to do speed round of the other matches and then give our match?
Yes, sir.
Okay, let's real quick. I'll let you go first because this is a big one right here. We're gonna go through all the playoff games. 10-7 Raiders at 10-7 Bengals. Bengals are 6.
11-7 Raiders.
I'm sorry, 11.
No, it will be because they're gonna win.
Oh, okay. So this is Bengals 6 points favors. Go. Who you got?
I'm voting with my heart here, but Raiders. But the Bengals are dangerous with that quarterback.
Yeah.
That guy, you say he's the truth, and he is the truth.
I'm going Bengals because the Raiders have got to be spent. I meant to mention earlier that game last week with the Chargers, and they let every player on that field let part of their soul on it. That was, I've been there before when you're so tired, when you don't think you can take another step. Those dudes all the way into overtime, and they were going back and forth. Bruh, they left it all out there. To have a short week and then have to go across to Cincinnati to play, they left a little bit of their heart and soul, I'm telling you, on the field in Las Vegas. So I'm going Bengals in that one. Good game, though, I think. There's another rematch here. Patriots, 10-7 going over to the Bills, 11-6, and Bills are 4.5 point favorite. I'll go with this one. I'll go first on this. I'm going Bills in this one, even though it's hard to go against Belichick, but I just don't think the Patriots have enough offense. It's supposed to be in the single digits as far as weather. So this could be a repeat of that one where they only threw the ball 3 times. But I can't see that happening. I'll go Bills.
I'll go Bills as well. But this is going to it'll probably be an ugly game. Just because of that.
Yeah, that's going to be
the football is like a rock when it's right?
And your fingers too. Nothing to do. Everybody part of your body. I'm just telling you. There's shrinkage and everything. 9-8 Eagles going over to the Buccaneers. Buccaneers are 8.5 point favorite. I'm going Buccaneers in this one, but this is going to be an ugly one though.
Okay,
it's going to be ugly with that run game for the Eagles, keeping Brady in them kind of just disjointed. I think Brady comes through in the end.
The key if you can try to push him off of his spot. That's when he's. It's one of those things where it's like trying to win the last stage in the Super Mario Brothers. If you can just get through all these crazy things, and you're good. But I got the Bucks as well.
All right, then we got the 49ers, 10-7, and this is the team I don't think anybody wants to see. They're the 6th seed going over the 12-5 Cowboys, who are 3-point leaders. I'll go first in this one. Sure. I got the way the 49ers. You do not want to see the 49ers right now.
Yes, sir.
That's seriously. Remember when Smokey and Ice Cube was sitting on the front porch and they heard the bike come down the street. Oh, man, you put yourself away. People, that's how I feel with the 49ers. It's like, man, they come to your house. You better put something your chain in.
Yeah.
There's some chain snatchers out there.
Yeah, I was in the 49ers as well.
Yeah, Cowboys are a little too much finesse for me, and I think the 49ers are going to just wreak havoc. All right, Steelers. Going over to the Chiefs, 9-7-1 Steelers.
Why they do the point spread like that?
12.5. I mean, it could get other than that. It could get other than that, bro. I'm serious. The Chiefs, if they're on their game, Steelers trying to keep up with them. Banger throw 40 times and get like 16 yards with all those baby dunks in the backfield. It just ain't working, bro. I'm telling you. All right, we both got Chiefs. Now we're running toward the end. We only got about a minute and a half left. You want to save our picks? Cardinals, Rams. Okay, let's go. Cardinals, Rams. Who you got?
I got the Cardinals. I think the Cardinals are going to pull it out.
I thought you might change your mind.
Nah, man. I think the Cardinals. I think when they get on the road, for some reason they do a better job of just being able to get that mind meld go on.
For me, the Rams will continue to be the Cardinals' kryptonite in terms of their talent. They've got all the tools. You know, Derek just said how they just match up well against us. We did get that victory early in the year. But for me, it's the Rams and their approach to keeping Murray in the pocket, pressure up the middle. They now have a running game that can just batter us if we're not careful. I got Rams to go to score. I thought Derek's score was a little low. I'm actually going to go ahead 27-23.
Yeah, I got Rams 30, 27, something around there.
So you're going Rams? I'm going Rams. I just made my son happy too. So, hey, we're going to take this break. We got the first out down here. Appreciate you hanging out with Easy and Jay on the Easy Sports Talk Show, KDUS 1060 AM as well as KXL, 100.7 Cali. Be back after these messages. We'll get to him, Jay. What the heck happened there?
I don't know, man.
Clear.
of the show, including Colt Artisan Beverage Company, the official beverage company of Ed J and the Easy Sports Talk Show.
You're live.
Hey, welcome back to the Easy Sports Talk Show. I want to jump right into this. I have a little something special I want to say. Jay, just say right here, fuck you, bye.
True narrative media understands it.
Top of the
I'm sorry, yeah, you got me. Okay, whatever. Colt Artisan Beverage Company, the official beverage company of the Easy Sports Talk Show, one of the first to launch nitrogen-infused coffee. They offer everything from specialty coffees to a botanical infusion line of caffeine and sugar-free brewed beverages. Call Colt Artisan Beverage Company at 623-434-0939 or visit ilovecolt.com for more information.
And a couple of alerts. You're watching this on Facebook right now or restream or whatever. You see we're still in the home studio, right? We're actually getting ready to break out of here along with Colt and EIC. We're actually doing a couple of remotes over the next couple of weeks. The first one's going to be on the west side over in Avondale at Modern Grind. It's 13044 West Rancho Santa Fe Boulevard. So we'll get you some information on that. But we're going to be 10 to 12 on the road next week at Modern Grind, which is the 22nd of the month. Then on the 29th, we're going to go over to Scottsdale. So we're starting to be spreading around. We're going to be at the Buzz Eatery and Treats. And that's at 15215 North Kierland Boulevard, Suite 190 in Scottsdale. So we're going to get you the information, put some things together so you know where we're going to be. Like I said, we're going to be getting back out on the road. We're going to be smart with what we do, but that's how we do things. So look for Easy Sports Talk to be out there on the road here starting next week. The other thing I wanted to mention, we get throughout the show, we get people, responding to us. You got some on your side. You've got all these feeds and everything going on. So I just got a message from a man who means, I have some high school coaches, people from all through my past that always say hi and I always mention him. Mr. Al Goldis is responsible for my career. He asked Mr. Goldis, I call him Mr. Goldis too. Mr. Al Goldis, one of the best scouts and directors of minor league operations in the history of baseball. He drafted me back in 1987. Okay. With the White Sox. Okay. Brought me into the culture. I spent a few years there. And he had to move on. Made a trade for me, bring me over to the Brewers for a couple of years. And then in '94, he signed me as a free agent with the Chicago Cubs. That's how much he thought of my athletic ability. And like I said, he is such a special person because he's the man who taught me what professional baseball was. He was not just a director. I would actually come on the field a lot of times. Okay. And as our instructors and stuff were doing something, he would actually get out there and teach us. And I bumped into Al a few years ago. I went over to the V Foundation dinner. I think and did not even know Mr. Gold was there. I was with my best friend, Ken Pleasant. We would spend all night, hop out and all that kind of stuff. End of the night, bumped into Mr. Gold. That's how big this thing was. And you talk about just, like I said, Mr. Gold love you to death. You're one of the most special people in my life. That's awesome. And that's cool that he is watching. And he actually sent me a message. He's, basically saying, you're one of the best. I'm like, man, you are all the best. So thank you, Mr. Gold. That's cool. And like I said, I have all that faith in me through all the years. And not just my ability, but he's been one of those people that help hold me as a person. And that's what I have so many people dealing with me professionally. Mr. Gold was more interested in making great men, not just great baseball players. So thank you for that, Mr. Gold.
There is a distinction for sure.
Oh yeah.
So distinction.
So we both got our picks in for the game. You're going Cardinals. I'm going Rams. We'll see. We're going to have the Believe podcast early next week after the Monday night game. I got to mention that. We got 2 tonight, which was the Raiders, Bengals, Patriots, Bills, and we got 3 tomorrow. Eagles, Buccaneers, 49ers, Cowboys, Steelers, Chiefs. And then we have Cardinals and Rams on Monday. So that's going to be a standalone game. We'll find out where everybody is reseeded after wins and all that kind of stuff. And we'll get the Packers and Titans back into the mix as well. I talked to Moneymaker Mitch yesterday. Okay. And, I told him, I was like, talk to Titans. We got to bring him on next week so we can talk about the Titans. They take it about it. They got to buy it. They're the number 1 seed. You forgot about it. They're sitting right now, sitting at home, making money. Just watching TV. I was there. When I was with the Falcons, we got the first round bye.
Yeah.
And I was like, sure, I'm getting a check this week. I'm just sitting there relaxing. That's some good stuff.
Oh, I heard that.
So let's flip the switch. We'll talk a little Suns. Got to give them the respect. Now sitting at 32-9, first in the West. And what kind of happened? And you might have mentioned the Warriors are stumbling. They're just fumbling a little bit. They're 5-5 in their last 10, not looking.
Yeah,
like
yesterday they blew out the Chicago Bulls.
I saw
think
that.
they
Yeah.
won by 40 points.
Yeah.
So, yeah, they might be.
They might be fine, but right now,
they're still
the Suns are the last team with single-digit losses. So once again, impressive, man. They're doing their thing.
Too.
Hey,
So I mean, it's victory, but that's a good thing. I
Yeah.
think it's better to. I'd rather win ugly than lose.
So here's the thing: in the 82 game schedule, you're going to have some of those. You go back and look, and say if you have 55, 60 wins, right? 20 of those wins are going to be like, ooh, that was, Then another 20, 25, you just blew the other teams out, and then there's a few that are just down to the wire. So you got your mix. Like you just mentioned, I'd rather win ugly than lose pretty.
Right.
So that's what you have to do. But this past week, they actually went over. Started the week on Saturday, or not the week, but last Saturday they went. The Heat came over here and beat up on us, 123-100. The Suns then went over to Toronto for like a little East Coast swing. Tuesday they won against the Raptors with no crowd, nobody in the stands either. That was another weird look. Yeah, because we now have fans. We're back to that.
So what was interesting? Did you hear about the
mascot?
So that ended up playing a role.
Booker, he didn't like that. Is that right?
Yeah, in the I think right at the beginning of the game, they had a dinosaur.
Oh, really?
That came out.
Trolling.
I thought that was well played.
Yeah. So we actually beat the Raptors on Tuesday, 99-95. Then just last night, we went over to the Pacers, and you mentioned 112-94. And they have a game tomorrow against the Pistons. They're actually on the road. Against the Pistons tomorrow. So, 32-9. Like I said, the Warriors are not falling out. They're only a game and a half back right now.
Isn't that interesting?
Yeah.
5-5, and you just barely, but
yeah. That's all due to that start. I still think the two best teams in the West, I have paid a whole bunch of attention to the East. But it's going to come down to us. We're going to talk about your boys a little bit next segment. Yeah, they've been doing their normal scuffle dance, I guess, if you want to call it that. But I like where the Suns are right now. And one there was something interesting I found out. But Cam Johnson's out.
Right.
And I saw this article on my little research. I found this article that was talking about the Suns and their some of their pains and stuff. And because they have been one of the healthiest, it seems like, one of the healthiest teams. Then I saw this article and they're talking about they missed a lot of time. DeAndre Ayton, I didn't realize DeAndre Ayton missed 14 games with a knee bruise, flu, and COVID. Yeah. Evan Booker, obviously 7 games with the hamstring. Crowder, 6 games with COVID. Cameron Payne, 5 games with the hamstring. Monty Williams even missed some time, 4 games with COVID. Boy, I remember that COVID, boy, that ugly girl in the club, boy. So, we would only talk about it with football. Yeah. With basketball, too, boys. Running around every time you turn around. Hey. JaVale McGee was 4 with COVID. Shemet is 3 with COVID. Jalen Smith had the flu. He missed a couple days. And then it was Abdul Nader missed 24 games and counting with his knee. Kaminsky, boy, we talking about he was money. Yeah, boy. Golly. I saw that. Freddie Kaminsky. He's just sitting over there.
That's why they ended up having. It makes sense they signed. It's not going to be helpful because to kind of take that stuff for Kaminsky. But what's interesting to me is that we know that Cam was playing so well before he tweaked his ankle. Mm-hmm. I just hope that when he comes back, that he's able to, for lack of a better word, pick up where he left off. Yeah, because you would hate to see that all that positive momentum that he's had this season to be negated.
I think the Suns have been very cautious with their players when they're injured, even with Booker. So I think that's a bonus. Meaning, a lot of people are like, hey, we're going to get you back. soon as possible. And a lot of times players come back early, that's when they struggle right out of the gate. They're not physically ready. I think if they let that ankle get right, and then it all comes back to usage. When you get it back in there, hey, when he's healthy, you use him properly like they have, and I think they'll be okay. But I've been very impressed with what he brought to the table. You know, I mean, North Carolina players, that's how we do it. I mean, we don't, you know.
This is something the question for my question about this team before the season began was how are they going to deal with the success of last season? Would there be a hangover? Would they not even if there wasn't a hangover? Would they devalue the regular season as some teams do? Because we won all these games and therefore we know what we can do. So let's really ease our foot off the pedal. But they have been very professional and very high level in terms of the way in which they're approaching this. You mentioned they're dealing with adversity everybody's dealing with COVID, but they're also even with injuries, as you mentioned, Devin Booker and then with some stuff with DeAndre Ayton.
Yeah.
They're still able to perform at a high level, and that's good.
Let's talk about that when we come back. We'll nip on that and then talk about a couple of other things as well. Appreciate you hanging out. EJ on the Easy Sports Talk Show, KDUS 1060 AM, KSLX AC Channel 127, Facebook Restream, YouTube, LinkedIn. You can find us all over the place, folks. We'll be back after these messages. Hope you are enjoying this beautiful, soon-to-be 70-degree day out here in Arizona.
Are you okay?
Where?
Yeah. And welcome back to Stay. What's that old school right there? Hey, welcome back to the Easy Sports Talk Show. This segment right here is brought to you by
True Narrative Media. True Narrative Media understands in today's world, the visual aspect of media is extremely effective in growing your business and expanding your brand awareness. True Narrative Media specializes in telling your unique story, providing a wide range of video services for your companies and businesses of all sizes. For more information, call 623-335-0735, again, 623-335-0735, or visit www.truenarrativemedia.com.
And I want to give another shout out to Byron Richmond. He is the co-host of the Sports Bay Show. I've actually done Byron. So I'm going to start doing some cross-promotion. I'm just thinking, we need to get Byron on talk because we're going to have a few people join us over the next, I think, few weeks with these playoffs on from other teams to get their perspective. I did ESPN Chattanooga the other day. And not John, those are like that, but Greg Renard, he had me on. He's a Titans dude. He covers Titans and I'll go down this one. Okay, so I'm going to get some cross stuff going on so we get more and more people. But
I said, hey, I can't do it. I can do it. We'll just wait for Eric.
Well, yeah, shout out to the Sports Bay Show with Byron and Eric, Byron Richmond. Great dude. Look forward to having you on the show here soon. So getting back to your question real quick, or what you were bringing up about the Suns.
Yeah, another good point. Yeah.
Another great point. Yeah. I mean, you come up with them every now and then, so I have to. That's why I have to highlight them when they do it.
You're trying to reinforce positive behavior. Keep doing that, Javon.
But here's the thing: you bring up a great point, and I think what's getting lost is Monty Williams is once again doing a great job. Because you mentioned sometimes success gets to the heads, and but he's actually been able to keep this team focused after what they did last year, showing it's not a fluke, and they're playing just as good now as they did at the end of the year. We forget how close they came to being NBA champions last year, and then it would have been real easy with all that short off season, dudes with contract issues. I mean, they're trying to keep Aiden focused right now.
Yes.
So he's done a great job. And I think we're losing sight of it. They're playing great on the field. They're doing even better off the court in terms of keeping everything together.
I think it can't be understated enough because certain coaches have different philosophies. Again, we talked about just the Lakers kind of just a little earlier in the last segment. Is Phil Jackson? Because Phil Jackson was more. He didn't really care about the regular season, so to speak, because it was about the journey and just different situations that he would try to put you in, so that when you got to the playoffs, you knew that you were able to overcome, right? Yeah. So there's no right way to do it. But what you do like to see from a fan perspective is that we were in this wasteland for so many years of underperformance, terrible drafts, and all that stuff, and so much turnover to be able to have that success and not have it muted by taking a step back and not emphasizing the regular season. The regular season and you really trying to get the most out of this bunch, and to the sign of a good coach and his staff are how they build and how they develop the players that they have as much as they're able to. And I think Cam was an example of that. I mean, he was talented. He wasn't drafted where he was drafted because he wasn't talented, because he's talented. Being able to empower them to be able to take that next step and to shine and be able to contribute, be a real contributor to the team.
And I think I mentioned last week how quickly they've made us forget how bad they were for so long. The turnaround has been amazing, in my opinion, because it wasn't so built. I mean, this was a few years ago, we won 20 games of what it was, and we made that, the short season last year, we turned that into an NBA title run. Here we are now, first in the West. So you forget, just 2 years ago, this team stink.
I hope that we get to maybe 2 or 3 years from now, when we're doing the whatever show that is, whatever number show that is, right? That we're talking about having the fans in the Valley become spoiled. Because you get spoiled because you have because you have consistent high level success when it comes to the basketball, when it comes to football. If we can continue to have that, would be a
Think
great
about
time.
being a New England Patriot.
Right.
I mean, for
Or just a New England sports
yeah,
fan.
exactly. That many years, just it's like title town. You know, then you don't make playoffs, and you're like,
This is changes need to happen. Because I mean, especially when the Boston Red Sox began to win, and they're winning World Series, they're winning Super Bowls.
Yeah.
And I think they even threw in the Stanley Cup there as well. So that happens. Same thing can happen with Los Angeles in sports for a long time. When it comes to
we got so much out there too. I mean, that's
the Lakers and USA. I was going to say the Dodgers, but the Dodgers they just recently ended that drought not a year or so ago. But with that big drop from the last World Series. But the point is that they're doing a good job. They're trending in the right direction. Again, my concern is the same thing we talked about the run defense for the Cardinals. My concern is that are we looking at the replacement for Chris Paul now for this season? Next season, do we have designs on that? I don't know if Campaign can be that guy.
I think he can.
Okay.
Here's the thing, though. You have to find the backup for the
if you promote him, you didn't need a CEO, who's the co-CEO, who's the vice president,
I don't think you put the entire load on him, but he's your 1A, and you have 1B behind him. And I think they'll be smart in trying to find it, whether it's a young player or something out there in free agency. But you're right, man. We can only ride that horse so long. With CP3, I mean, he's doing an amazing job now.
Oh yeah.
Who knows how far or how close he is to the ledge, though.
Right.
Don't necessarily jump off, but if you fall off and just slowly decline.
If nothing else, and I know we want to transition. So if nothing else, enjoy this. So there's another podcast that y'all should check out. It's The Focus with Javon Adams.
Yes, sir. Promote it.
So everywhere that you can find podcasts. So anyway, my guest this week, we talked about faith in action. And so part of that conversation dealt with mindfulness, kind of being grateful. So if nothing, if you have the expectations, don't meet your expectations when it comes to the Phoenix Suns. Be grateful that they're in this spot, that you're able to have this discussion about who's the best team in the Western Conference. Be grateful for that and continue to expect them to perform at a high level.
Exactly. So, at some point, we have to get down there and see a game. We keep talking about it, but I am really impressed with what they've done so far this
I still
season.
haven't going to games though, because I'm the dude. I think you and I are similar in this way. Because I'll go. It's third quarter.
Oh God! Yeah.
I
I couldn't tell you the last time I stayed to the end or something. I mean, I'll tell you.
I get mad.
You know what I do?
Game,
you know what I do? I make sure I record it, so when I get home, I won't listen to the radio or anything like that. I get home and I pick up right where I left off at the station. I get right there. Okay, we got 2 minutes left in the third quarter. All right, let's go.
It's halftime? Yeah. Well, I guess we're about to bounce.
All right, with about 2.5 minutes left, which one we're going to do? You want to talk your bad Lakers? You want to talk the Memphis Grizzlies real quick?
Let's go with the Grizzlies. I mean, the Lakers are
we're
a dumpster right now.
John Morant, boy, that's a
bad man right there.
Wow. I mean, and let's talk about this real quick. They just had an 11-game streak ended last night with a loss to the Mavericks. No shame in that. But they in that streak, they beat the Lakers twice, Suns, Clippers, Warriors, and Nets. And the thing about John Morant, there's a little MVP talk and stuff about him, but this is what I want to talk about.
He missed a lot of games.
Yeah. He has left Zion Williams in the dust.
I haven't thought about that, man.
Oh my God!
Since the last time we talked about it, 3 or 4 weeks ago.
You think about it because he was number 2 pick behind Zion. You look at it, it's like, whoa. I mean, a lot of times you're compared to your, whoever's in the draft. We might be looking at this 5-10 years from now, and like, oh my God.
And you can't be upset with New Orleans for drafting.
No,
because that was the logical choice. But I mean, what a consolation prize to have Ja. I mean, that is
Did you see that block? He had a two-hand block against somebody last week.
I don't even talk about that.
Who was that against?
That was awesome.
Oh my
I
God.
just think that it's going to be played forever and ever. I show him doing that to my squad.
And I might have to change my, because I said this is going to be a two-team race down the stretch between Warriors and Suns. You might have to throw the Grizzlies in there in terms of what they're doing right now.
Yeah, I think they are. Somebody posted, it was a gentleman at Matlocks that they're going to be a big seed that will be afraid of. They're on that set.
My question to you: Are they could be the 22 or 2022 version of the Suns? Remember how last year we came out nowhere?
Yeah.
I don't think people saw this from the Grizzlies.
They respect them now.
Yeah, they're respecting them now.
Like I said, I should be the Lakers. That's not a notch on your belt.
Everything.
Suns,
Warriors,
Clippers,
yes.
Warriors, those are not we lost to the Kings, so yeah, everybody got a notch on their belt with the Lakers.
But I'm serious. I'm going to start watching because if the team continues to make that gap between Zion and Williams, that's something that's going to have to be measured. Anyway, we're going to take this break. Hope you have a great weekend so far, folks. We'll be back after these messages.
Like, you'll get it.
Lakers are 21-21, by the way.
You're like,
I'll let that one play for a second there. And welcome back to the Easy Sports Talk Show. Some songs just like they get in me, like in your soul as soon as you hear them. That's one every time I hear it, I'm like, still. This segment right here is brought by
E3 Cryo. The goal at E3 Cryo and Wellness Center is to enlighten and empower the community in better understanding the human body's self-healing capabilities. Some of the amazing benefits of their cutting-edge technologies include pain management, improved joint function, immune support, sleep improvement, and so much more. For more information, visit e3cryo.com. That's E, the number 3, CRYO.com. Or you can call them at 602-899-2796. Or you stop by their location at 13615 North 35th Avenue, Suite number 2 in Phoenix.
And I got my sessions in this week. Got my cryo in and my compression therapy. So I'm continuing on with that.
Yeah.
And that's part of my regimen now. So like I said, we're actually, just to let you know, I told you about the 2 upcoming remotes we have. We are also going to be backing that one up on the 5th of February. We are going to be at E3 Cryo, which is at 13615 North 35th Ave, right there in Phoenix, suite number 2, basically right at the south of the corner of Thunderbird and 35th Ave.
Yes, sir.
So we're going to be there on the 5th. We get you the whole list of where we're going to be over the next few weeks. I hope you'll come out and join us. Definitely, cryo should be something that you should give a try. If you got aches, if you got pains, if you're dealing with certain things, they have so many different services. We also we have a couple of free giveaways too, because we had Richard who earlier gave some.
That's right.
We did the remote back in December. So who knows? You can be one of those people you come out, support us, you get your free session. So just keep that in mind. We're going to talk about that as we move forward. So the day, we talk about all the good things with playoff football, and it's sad that the season ended. Some men are a little sadder that the season ended when it did after this week 18, because what they call the Monday after is called Black Monday. So that's when a lot of coaches end up getting that call into the office. And you as a player, they say, hey, the coach wants to see him and bring him play with him. I wonder how they do that. Hey, Matt Nagy, hey, Coach, GM wants to see it. He's going too. GM's going too. So the owner said, hey, I want to see both of you in my office. So let me run down the list of coaches that got that call.
And real quick, I know we talk about this. This is sometimes you're just not good at what you do.
Yeah.
Right? Sometimes it's a wrong fit being there. So understandable, but it's not just the head coach. When you think about the head coach, more often than not, it's the head coach and their staff, all the staff. So the position coaches, all these different folks that are all those people that you don't see. So all those families.
Here's a good thing though. Good GMs and owners, they realize, hey, coach has to go. It's not a blanket thing where they say we're your whole staff. They evaluate every. You have a great special teams coach, that dude ain't going nowhere. There was, if you have a great O-line now they know, because everything, obviously the decisions come from the top of the head coach. Right. Now they won't do the whole blanket thing where you and your whole staff. That's a good thing. So, I know coaches who got fired and the other ones that stayed on, like I said, special teams and so on. But so far, what has happened? We've got 8 head coaching vacancies. A couple of them were earlier in the season, but after Monday, Matt Nagy got fired. We can get that. Matt Nagy got fired with the Bears. Mike Zimmer, my cousins, my nephew's up there, and he's been there for quite a while, just wasn't quite making it curl. And Cousins is your quarterback, and but they have weapons, they got all this stuff, and they finally they didn't make the playoffs this year. So Mike Zimmer got fired. Big Fangio with the Broncos, more of a defensive guy. They got every piece except for a quarterback. And I'm wondering what they're thinking. I mean, he's not going out looking for a quarterback.
Right. So some of these are kind of head scratchers. Yeah. Just in the sense, if it's their organization, they can choose to do with it what they will. But if you weren't giving somebody a quarterback that was going to be able to do what you wanted them to do, and then you say, we're firing you because I didn't give you the prospects to call, and I said so you didn't reach your goal, and I say, hey, you gotta go.
I mean, you go through the quarterbacks that's out there the last few years, and it's
Or he got injured too, so those different things that can impact you. You want to have a good next man up mentality.
Because he's such a great defensive guy, I'm like, go get him some people on the other side. But so he got the hammer. Joe Judge with the Giants, I was just like, man, you got a kid if you keep him. That's the whole organization plus.
Right.
And this is the third. I think the last three coaches have each lasted about 2 years. For a franchise as rich as in history with the Giants, they're just not making good choices right now. And then their GM retired, Gettleman.
It's always interesting when I hear that when they talk about organizations being rich in history. I mean, I get the fact that because how many Super Bowls have they won? They've won 3,
something like that.
So I mean, I know that they were,
but they were consistently always,
10 wins or so. But
compare the Giants to the Lions. That's history. You look, the Lions are history and garbage. Where, like I said, the Giants are sweet.
You're right.
Okay.
You're right.
Urban Meyer was hacked earlier in the season. David Culley with the Texans. 1 year, one and done. When they gave him what they gave him, I'm like, what do you expect the man to do? Deshaun Watson, we're not going to give you. You can't use him. You're going to go with the man who got hurt, and then the David Mills.
Yeah, their offense was terrible. I mean, understandably so. I think they let their offensive coordinator go as well. From what I saw, what did you expect him to do?
I don't know.
From what I understand, he never lost the locker room. But we knew that as soon as he was hired, I remember us both saying that's a good man walking.
Oh God!
Because there's no way that he was going to meet expectations because he didn't have a starting quarterback. When he got the job, he had to start a quarterback. About a day or 2 or 3 afterwards, all this stuff comes down.
Controversy, everything.
And you just look at what?
If I'm him and they just said, we've all been in positions where I'm sitting, I've been released from teams like that. I'm looking at whoever was the head coach telling me, I mean, I want to be slapped. I'm like, I'm sure he's like, are you serious? You gave me this garbage. And, now because what happens when they fire a coach is basically like, well, it's your fault that we lost. As they're pointing at you like you did, you couldn't, and you got to do the sad walk out. And I'm like, what did you expect from this man in that position?
And plus, they're not in position to get their draft stock is depleted in terms of upcoming draft picks.
Yeah,
so it's they're in a bad situation.
So I'm going to do something here. I know you will get on me. Aaron, are you there?
I'm here.
Could you extend this one just a little bit? This segment?
Absolutely.
Thank you, sir. Because, we're talking and we got some juicy stuff to get into here. I didn't want to run out of time. All right. So then earlier in the season, you know what happened to John Gruden and the Raiders. So that is head coaching job open number 7. Some of the other ones you're like, nigga, when Gruden got the hammer, we all were like, wow, that was a witch hunt right there. But what happened, you have Rich Bisaccia who took over this mess.
Yeah.
And my question to you, this is a really interesting question, because he has gotten his team into the playoffs. He still has the interim tag. The team was 10-7. The problem with the interim tag is we're not head coaching material in our eyes in the beginning, but now you went for special teams coach. You've rallied the troops. What do you do at the end of the season? Here's the thing. How could you, if they go over and beat the Bengals, how could you and then lose the next round or whatever? How can you justify, we appreciate what you did, Rich, but we can't give you this job. And at the same time, if he's doing a great job, are you willing to say, here's a 5-6 year contract, $8-9 million a year, you're now our new leader? Where do you stand on that?
It is tough because you just don't know if this is a one-off type of. When I say one-off for this season being a one-off to get them to galvanize,
the truth.
They know with the team has had to endure stuff. You mentioned Gruden, the Henry Ruggs. It was somebody lost their life. But the team having to deal with that talented player no longer being available. That's a tough one. I'm more inclined to say no. Because I still want to go through the interview process. Put it that way. It may be that I'll go through will end up settling on him, but I want to make sure I've done my due diligence.
Here's the real question. Here's the real question for Versace. Say they, whatever happens to the playoffs. Hey, Rich, we appreciate what you did, but we're going to do the interview process, and then they bring somebody in. Can you ask him to go back to being a special teams coach?
Sure.
And if you're Versace, do you want to go back to being a special teams coach?
Or if you're Versace, do you want to be the head coach?
That's what I'm saying.
Do you?
I'm sure he wants the whole title.
I mean, but it's moving over. I'm sure that he's. If you're a position, if you're a coordinator, right? Let's say you're a special teams. That's your group. You're the coordinator for that, right? And then you move over to be a head coach. Yeah, you have very little sleep, very little rest, worrying about the special teams. But when you move over, it's
you are
the boss. Everything goes to you, and all the stressors and come that come with
like
that.
He's handling it well. I'm sure every coach has a desire, a dream. He looks like a dude who wants that job. He's doing it well. I don't think, like I said, you can see sometimes interim coaches are over their head,
right.
And it's just like, he's a special teams dude, which gave him an advantage because you bring an offensive coordinator over, all he knows is the offensive guys. He knows what defensive coordinator, same thing. Special team coach has
everybody,
everything.
Right?
They deal with every part.
I'm surprised they don't hire more because I think what's his name was
one of the best.
Joe Judge, right?
Yes, but one of the best, Jim Harbaugh,
right?
John Harbaugh.
Man.
I played under him in Philly. He had head coach written all over him from when I was there in '99 because you could just tell. These dudes, like I said, they're mad scientists in terms of game planning and stuff like that.
Right.
But they have a whole. They know the whole team, and they're involved in everything. That's why I think he's good coach. As far as letting, like I said, well, it'll be interesting. I'm like, so I'll find out your thought. Let's get to this one real quick. The Miami Dolphins let Brian Flores go. Over 3 seasons, he had a 24-25 record, but he went 5-11 in his first season in 2019, 10-6, 9-8 this year after a 1-7 start. Finished the season on an 8-1 run. And according to the owner, he didn't see Flores as a healthy fit in Miami. He basically sided with the GM, who, in my opinion, has done a horrible job in terms of putting that team together. Maybe Flores, they had conflict on quarterback and different things like that. And in the end, you go GM over coach, and you fire this dude who will not be without a job for long. You look at what he's done in Miami. They beat the Patriots twice this year. In that division, what he did, another winning record, you let him go, and it's like, what are you thinking? That's why some organizations stay bad forever or a long time.
Yeah.
And then when they do something like this, I root against them.
What's interesting is that you find that you wonder if this isn't something that the relationship could have been mended or fixed, because maybe you have your philosophy, you have your philosophy, I have my philosophy. Can we meet somewhere in the middle and being able to try to be able to coexist? It doesn't mean we have to like each other, but that we can do things for the best, with the end goal being to try to lift that Lombardi trophy at the end. But if it was that Flores was that hesitant to try to be on the same page as the GM, then I guess it wasn't going to ever be a good fit. But maybe he'll learn from this for the next opportunity to say, all right, I have to be a little bit flexible. Even though this is your team, you're the coach, and the buck stops with you, but you have to be flexible to some degree. In
relationships, sometimes you have to, if you're going to make it last a long time, you know what your ultimate goal is. You have to make those sacrifices on both sides, and you have to figure out how we're going to do this. Yeah. You just don't. I mean, maybe that's why the divorce rate in this country is at 50+%, whatever it is, because nobody wants to make adjustments. And hey, let's sit down and talk about this. Yeah. For me, this is you know how hard it is to find a good head coach. Yeah. And you're just going to take one and kick him out the door.
They better get a guy that's as good, if not.
And here's the thing: not even just find a good coach, but a culture builder.
Yeah.
He seems to be making Miami a better team and organization. And you're like, well, now, good luck with finding the next one. That was the shocker for me. And one of my, we'll leave that other part alone. I was really disappointed in how they handled that. Anyway, we got one segment left. Appreciate you hanging out with Easy and Jay on the Easy Sports Talk Show, KDUS 1060 AM, as well as KSLX HD Channel 2 100.7 Facebook, Restream. We got the LinkedIn going, we got the YouTube going. So you can find us all over the place. Be sure you check out the Believe podcast as well. So we're going to take this break to finish everything up on the other side. Hope you're having a great weekend so far, folks.
You get
Clear. Thank you, Aaron.
Yeah.
I'm not blowing smoke because you're my partner. But you got serious talent, bro. More people need to hear your stuff.
I appreciate it.
So we're gonna start playing your stuff. You sent me something out there. Which one was it?
It was the
I have it.
the club one. Yeah, it was the club.
No, you sent me. Where is it? I have it on. Where's my screen's so big sometimes.
Yeah, the name escapes me. I forget the name. But yeah, it was that one. Oh no, it was the focus. Focus.
Yeah.
The focus. Yeah.
So like I said, bro, we need to start sharing your stuff more. Oh, I know how to see this on. I got the 2 screens up. It's over here.
Yeah, that one
is
the focus. So if you're interested in that one, you can go to theunda.bandcamp.com, THEUNDA.bandcamp.com. It's kind of just a loosey single there. You can download it free. Actually.
Yeah, so I just like I said, I just want to make sure you know how much people
appreciate you.
Yeah, you got some serious skills, bro.
Thank you, man.
So, hey, another show down. I appreciate everybody hanging out with us, whatever you are doing, whether it's here in Arizona or across the country. Hope you're staying safe, staying warm in some parts because forget how nice it is out here. What the East Coast is dealing with, and even down into the South, they're dealing with stuff. So everybody stay safe from the elements and from the COVID. Like I said, we appreciate you hanging out. Easy to Jay on the Easy Sports Talk Show. KUS 1060 AM, KSLX HD Channel 100.7. Once again, I want to thank Aaron for a great show. Everybody for listening, all of our sponsors and partners. Make sure you come check us out next week. Modern Grind will be out there. Have a great fantasy weekend, folks. Give it to him, Jay.
Are you okay?
Thanks again, Aaron.
All right, you guys are clear. Good show. I'll talk to you next week.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
See you guys.
Bye.